What is good, everybody? We are going to be going over daily bias today. Okay, so we went over all our confluences. We went over S&T divergence, break of structure, inverse fair value gap, fair value gap. We went over equilibrium. What else? We also went over trends, bullish, bearish, all kinds of stuff. We pretty much went over everything that I use, but now I want to show you guys how to put everything together, and I want to start off with daily bias. And then we'll go into creating a strategy after a daily bias. And then we'll keep going from there. We'll do some psychology videos. We'll do some risk management videos. We'll go over how to avoid going on tilt and stuff like that. We'll go over a bunch of stuff when it comes in the future. We're also going to be going over how to deal with a losing month because I just previously came off a losing month and we're starting off a new month this week. Against the start of February. January was a losing month for me, but again, I want to go over how to handle a losing month and how to get out of a losing month, how to get out of drawdown, how to keep your accounts and not blow your accounts within a couple days or a couple weeks, okay? So first I want to go over daily bias. This video is recommended. Again, I'm going to show you guys and girls the checklist that I go over every single day. Again, this could be different for you. It could be different for somebody else. Again, I'm just going to show you how to get a daily bias. I'm going to give you guys an example from today and then what you guys and girls need to do. You need to go back into my live sessions that I record every single day, correct? Or join the live sessions when you guys are watching me on Kick, or if you're already in the Discord, go watch my live sessions that I post every single day on YouTube, because every single session I start off the YouTube video explaining my daily bias, okay? Go back and watch that after watching this video, and you'll start to understand more after doing that. That's up to you at the end of the day if you want to go back and study that. But every single video that I post, the whole live trading session, whether it's an hour long or whatever, the first couple minutes of the video, I always start off the video explaining what my bias is to the camera because, again, I go back and watch that to determine how the day went after that and just see what my mindset was going into the day. And it's also good for you guys and girls to go back and watch that after watching this video to be able to see, hey, this is what he does every single day. There's a couple things he missed in this video that he does in the other videos. But this overall should help you determine how I get my daily bias, and then you should be able to get your own after watching this video and going back and studying it on your own and studying the videos that I post every single day because I post my live sessions every single day so you guys can go back and watch live market data, okay? So it's that simple. Again, we're going to go over daily bias today, and this should be a pretty simple video. We'll go over one example on today on how to get it, and then your job is to go back and watch those previous videos that I post every single time I take a trade, the whole live session, and you should be able to determine how to get a daily bias once the more you study and study and study over time, and you'll start to build your own daily bias checklist, okay? Let's jump into it. Okay, you should have your journal, your notebook, everything out. This is how I want you guys and girls to write in your notebook, all right? I wrote this out today. It's literally, I don't look at this every single morning. You start to develop your own stuff over time. And again, I just developed my system over the past 6 years, so I know what I'm doing every time I come into the market open. I know what I'm looking for. And again, it might sound confusing at first, but trust me, write this down, go back, watch those videos, and I'm telling you, you'll start to be able to develop your own daily bias as you move on and get better as a trader with more experience over time. So again, daily bias checklist, how I determine my daily bias, okay? So number one, I come into the market. I mark out 9:30 a.m., correct? I only trade New York Open, okay? I start on the 30-minute time frame. I mark out 9:30, and I start on marking out the previous session highs and lows, including Asian session, London session, and New York session, okay? And I'll show you guys an indicator you can use up here. It's called ICT Kill Zone, and I can give you guys and girls my settings right here. You don't have to copy my colors. It's totally up to you. But again, it's called ICT Kill Zone. You should be able to see it right here. It helps me determine, it marks out my Asian session, London session, and New York session, highs and lows and stuff like that. It makes it way easier than going back and manually doing it. That's what I used to do, but this tool makes it a lot easier to do that, okay? So we're gonna start off by marking our previous session, highs and lows, Asian session, London session, New York session. Check. Number two, we're gonna move to the 4-hour time frame and mark out our 4-hour highs and lows, okay? We're gonna mark out all our 4-hour highs and lows that are within reach, okay? You're not gonna mark out a 4-hour low that's 1,000 points away, okay? Keep it reasonable on what you think that in that session, what we could target for that day, correct? So mark out your 4-hour time frame, highs and lows, and then we're gonna scale down to the 1-hour time frame. So number three, we're gonna scale down to the 1-hour time frame, mark out our 1-hour highs and lows, correct? Number four, look for our 4-hour and 1-hour or bearish fair value gaps. Excuse me, that was not said very well. Look for your 4-hour and 1-hour bearish fair value gaps or bullish fair value gaps and determine whether price is respecting our bullish confluences or disrespecting, okay? So let's say we have a 4-hour bullish fair value gap. We could see in London session, we came down, came into that 4-hour bullish fair value gap. We're respecting it. That's showing us we're in bullish market structure, correct? We're bullish on the 4-hour time frame. We're respecting bullish confluence. Again, that's a key where you could be like, hey, the higher time frame is showing me that we're in a bullish trend, so I want to be bullish for the day. Next thing, determine whether price is in an uptrend uptrend or a downtrend on the 4-hour or 1-hour time frames to establish overall higher time frame bias. Also look for SMT divergence, okay? So again, we're going to determine, you should know what an uptrend and a downtrend is, right? We should see if we broke structure in the 4-hour time frame and if we ended up breaking structure to the downside at all. Are we still continuing in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend, correct? Same thing with the hourly time frame. If both time frames are showing us that, hey, the 4-hour and the 1-hour are both bullish, I might as well overall be bullish on the day. Does that mean price is going to move up? Definitely no, it doesn't. Again, we have to wait for market to develop price and see what it's going to do for the day, and then we react off of that. But again, determine if your 4-hour and 1-hour draws on liquidity or your overall higher time frame, is bullish or bias. Bullish or bearish. And again, that'll help you determine to lean towards which way you want to be, like bullish or bearish, blah, blah, blah. Again, just because you have a bias doesn't mean you have to stick to that, correct? It's overall going to help you be more comfortable when things align. And let's say you have a bullish bias. We're respecting higher time frame fair value gaps. We come down, we sweep out an hourly low or something like that, or we sweep out a 4-hour low. We break structure on the 5-minute time frame. We scale down to the 1-minute time frame. We see confirmation. Hey, bias on the higher time frame and lower time frame are aligned. We're good to go. And again, I'm going to go over the strategy creation after this. This is just being able to go in and just determine what your bias is. And then in the next video, we'll do a strategy creation, how I jump down to the 5-minute time frame, wait for 5-minute confirmation if we're sweeping out a higher time frame draw on liquidity. And then sometimes I'll scale down to 1-minute confirmation if we are sweeping out like a 15-minute draw on liquidity or something like that, correct? So number 6, scale down to the 5-minute time frame, wait for market open, and wait for your key levels to be hit or for price to target draws on liquidity such as 4-hour highs and lows, hourly highs and lows, or previous session highs and lows, correct? So again, let's say we came down pre-market, we swept out a 4-hour low, we broke structure on the 5-minute time frame, correct? That's an instance where we would want to see that we are in an uptrend, correct? Market opens, we come down, we fill in like a 15-minute fair value gap, sweep out a 5-minute low, and then we have the potential to target our hourly highs, our 4-hour highs, our New York highs, our Asian session highs, our London session highs. We have draws and liquidity above the weekly target, and it's showing us that price wants to continue higher. We're bullish on the overall higher time frame. We came down, we swept out a higher time frame draw on liquidity of sell side liquidity. We broke structure in the 5-minute time frame. We get a reaction off of it. We scale down to the 1-minute time frame. We wait for confirmation, target our draws and liquidity above. Pretty simple. So make sure you guys and girls write this down in your notebook. Pause the video if you'd like. Again, we're going to be going over a strategy creation video after this. This is just to determine a daily bias. It's not going to be going over how to take a trade, excuse me. It's just going to be showing you overall get a bias for the day on which way you think the market's going to go and help you align your higher time frame with your lower time frame bias. And then boom, again, it'll help the probability of your trade hitting more, okay? So let's X this out. We're going to go over today's example. And again, we'll just pretty much go from there. And then your job after this is to go back and watch my videos, okay? Watch the whole trading session and you'll hear it every time I start the video off. I say, what's up, YouTube? We're going to be going over my daily bias. I say my daily bias, and that's pretty much it. It'll take you 20 minutes or 10 minutes. If you don't even want to put in 20 minutes or 10 minutes of work anyway and go back and watch that stuff, then good luck with your trading journey. I'm just going to say that there, okay? So again, let's start off with today. So coming into today, let's put this in replay mode. I'm going to do this on one chart. Again, I wish I could do it on both. But TradingView does not let you do that. So you guys and girls should be able to see this, correct? All right, awesome. So we're going to go back, replay mode. I'm going to mark out 9:30, correct? We'll mark out 9:30. So let's act like we're coming into the day. What do? I take out my indicator, these are called indicators, right? Yes. Boof, I don't use indicators, okay? This is the only indicator I use. If someone's selling an indicator, yeah, it's probably a scam. I don't know. Some indicators are helpful. I don't know. Don't mark my word on that. I just use this indicator. All right, so we're going to start off 30-minute time frame. What does our indicator help us with? Determine our previous session highs and lows. So what do we have? We have London session highs up here. We have, where's my Asian session? Asian session lows down here, right here. And then do we have New York? Yep, we have New York lows all the way down here. Okay? And we'll mark these out. New York. All right. So we have our London session, our Asian session, our New York lows, okay? We ended up sweeping out Asian session highs. We have London session highs. We swept out Asian session lows. We're just going to mark these out for now, and then we're going to move on to the next step. So next step, 4-hour time frame, okay? Let's rewind this back a little bit because, again, we're in replay mode. Let's get rid of our indicator. We mark out, what do? Our 4-hour highs and lows. So what do we have? We have 4-hour high right here. We have a 4-hour high right here. We have a 4-hour high right here. And we have a 4-hour high. That's in 1 minute. 4-hour high right here. Okay. Do we have any 4-hour lows? Yep, we have a 4-hour low right here. Bang. And then we have a 4-hour low all the way down here. I probably wouldn't target that for the day, but again, you can mark it out if you want. Okay. Who knows what the market's going to do? All our 4-hour draws and liquidity are marked out. What else do we have? We could see that we broke structure in the 4-hour time frame. That means we are bullish in the 4-hour time frame. What else do we have? We have a 4-hour bullish fair value gap here that we could fill, and we have a 4-hour bullish fair value gap here we could fill. Correct? So we keep that in mind. If price wants to come down and fill in these 4-hour fair value gaps, that's possible, right? And then we can get a reaction to continue higher. But again, it matters what the market wants to do. We have 4-hour fair value gaps right here. I personally would just mark out this 4-hour fair value gap because I like the first presented fair value gap. But again, 4-hour fair value gap right there, right? So now we get on to the hourly time frame. What do we have? We have an hourly high right here. Make sure your magnet's on too, guys, because again, if your magnet's not on, it makes it a little bit more difficult to mark these out. So we have our hourly highs we marked out. We have an hourly high right here with London session high, hourly low with Asian session lows. We have an hourly low here, but that's our 4-hour low. What else do we have? We have an hourly low down here also. We can mark it out if we want. Correct? Bang. Awesome. So we have all our higher time frame draws and liquidity. We have our previous session lows and highs. We have our fair value gaps that we're looking at. We have a 4-hour fair value gap here. The reason why I don't mark this hourly fair value gap, because again, higher time frame holds higher power. We have a 4-hour fair value gap here. All right? So again, if we want to look for hourly fair value gaps, we have this hourly fair value gap, which I'm pretty sure is a 4-hour fair value gap. Higher time frame holds higher power. I mark out the higher time frame fair value gap over the lower time frame fair value gap, okay? This higher time frame holds higher power. So again, this 4-hour fair value gap takes over all these 1 hours. We have an hourly fair value gap here. We have a little hourly fair value gap here, but again, we have another 4-hour fair value gap right here also, okay? So again, now we have all our draws and liquidity. Now we determine where we think the market's going to go, okay? Today, we ended up having a 4-hour S&T at the high. I was bearish today because again, NASDAQ didn't take out this 4-hour high here. ES did. So we formed a high and a lower high on NASDAQ, and then we formed a high and a higher high on ES on the 4-hour time frame. A 4-hour S&T is pretty strong. We have a 4-hour S&T with 4-hour bullish fair value gaps below, correct? My bias today was to say, hey, if we're showing potential to the downside, we're probably going to come down and fill in this 4-hour fair value gap, which ended up happening. I personally didn't get an entry because I didn't see anything because the market just decided to rip down today. But again, bias was correct, but I still didn't get an entry. So again, we formed a 4-hour S&T today. We have to make sure we also look for those. Again, I want to show it. Let's see if we could just do this. I'll split screen it real quick for you guys and girls to understand. Look, we'll go to the 4-hour time frame. You guys should be able to see it here. We formed a 4-hour S&T. NASDAQ formed a high and a lower high, correct? And then ES right here from Thursday the 29th at 2 p.m. Thursday the 29th at 2 p.m., correct? Formed a 4-hour S&T, right? So from here, we formed a high and a higher high. So the leading index to the downside was NASDAQ. See that? But again, now we have our overall draws and liquidity. We have our fair value gaps that could be filled. For me, my bias today was bearish. Even though we broke structure on the 4-hour time frame and it's showing us that we want to be bullish, I'm respecting that 4-hour S&T and I want to see if price wants to continue lower, okay? So what do? We scale down to the 5-minute time frame. I'm going to go to the 30-minute real quick so we can just fast forward this a little bit. We scale down to the 5-minute time frame, right? And as you can see today, what do? We end up, market opens, and we end up just dumping. We're waiting for this candle. We end up just dumping. What do? We take out Asian session lows. We're coming down for these 4-hour lows. What are we expecting next? If we don't get a reaction off these Asian session lows, we're probably going to do what? Target these 4-hour lows. What ends up happening? Boom, we target those 4-hour lows, correct? Next draw on liquidity. If we don't get a reaction off of this 4-hour, right? And we want to see if price wants to continue to the upside. What is our next thing we can target? This giant 4-hour fair value gap down below. Again, it's different just clicking a button and just seeing it happen now. In hindsight, when you're seeing the candles move, I wanted to see if we had the potential to move higher off of this 4-hour low because we were in a 4-hour bullish fair value gap. But again, price just wanted to continue lower. I didn't get a setup. And then what can we see happen? We see price just continue down and end up filling this 4-hour low, taking out New York session low. So if you were in a trade, you could target all these draws and liquidity, your first take profit, second take profit. You can even target the 50% level of this 4-hour fair value gap. There's things you get to target after you guys and girls start to trade like this. And as we could see, after price ends up coming into this 4-hour bearish fair value gap, price has just been chopping around right now. Does it mean it's just going to move up right away? No, the overall move for the day was this downward move, right? We moved like 400 points from market open. So again, I say it's simple, but again, it's actually harder than it seems. Again, you just have to study building it over time. But what you guys and girls need to do is go back, and I'm going to make my face bigger. You guys and girls need to go back, and you just need to go over the checklist that I showed you guys and girls to use. And again, go back in my other videos, the live trading sessions that I post every single day, right? I post those if I take a trade, if I lose, win, break even, I post it. And you hear me in the beginning of each video just saying what my bias is. Again, I used to post it in the Discord. I don't do that much anymore. I rather just say it out loud so it's recorded. And just be able to, even for myself, to go back and watch these videos and see what my bias was. What was I thinking on the day? And even if I was totally wrong, I can go back and study that, see what my live bias was, and then go back and back test that and be like, okay, I did this wrong. Or again, the market just didn't want to cooperate what I was doing, which is going to happen. So again, step by step, start a 30-minute time frame, mark out 9:30, find your previous session highs and lows, scale to the 4-hour, find your 4-hour highs and lows, scale to the 1 hour, find your hourly highs and lows. Look for hourly and 4-hour SMTs. Find your fair value gaps, your 4-hour fair value gaps, your 1-hour fair value gaps. See if we're respecting bullish market structure, disrespecting bullish market structure. Again, by using these confluence that I showed you guys, you should be able to determine what price is doing, right? As you can see today, we had those 4-hour fair value gaps below that wanted to get filled. Price showed us that it wanted to continue lower. I was looking at those draws in liquidity, the 4-hour, the Asian session lows. We didn't get a reaction off of it to the upside. So what does price want to do? It wants to continue lower. It wants to target that 4-hour fair value gap below, fill that 4-hour fair value gap. And then again, if you could find an entry to be able to do that, which I'll teach you guys after in the next video, I'll show you guys a strategy creation. You should be able to determine your bias. And again, it's going to be confusing at first. But just trust me, you have to be able to study this, study it every day, watch my live recordings, and just overall see my thought process of what I'm trying to target, what my ideas are for the day, what my bias is. I explain it every single video. I already said that like 10 times. But again, then you'll start to develop your own system over time, develop the way you figure out how to get a daily bias and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. And you'll just become a better trader over time the more experience you get, and the more experience you get in the markets every single day. And this is the reason why I get so pissed off when people say you can become profitable in 6 months, you can become profitable in a year. Guys and girls, I'm going to be honest with you, that is really hard to do. Yes, you can get a payout in 6 months. Yes, you can get a payout in a year. But again, the hard part of trading is becoming consistently profitable, and you have to be able to get market experience. Okay? The markets are different every single day. You have to fail. You have to blow accounts. You have to be patient. You have to slowly build. You have to fight your own mental battle every single day. That's why we're all different as traders. Again, trading is hard, but take it step by step and slowly build over time. And the things I'm showing you, study them, give it time. You'll get better, even from 6 months from when you started watching these videos to 6 months after that, right? See how much better you get. See how much better you understand the markets. And I'm telling you, you'll start to understand the markets way better. And then after that, it's you versus you at that point. It's you with risk management, emotions, psychology, all that kinds of stuff. And again, we're going to go over those videos. I'm going to make a couple of videos on those in this series. So again, this is Daily Bias. I hope you guys and girls enjoy this. Again, there's a lot to learn in these videos. I'm just showing you what works for me. Am I this freaking amazing god at trading? No. Again, trading's always going to be hard. But again, I'm just showing the process of me getting better every single day. And I'm showing you what works for me. We'll just keep showing the proof every single day. I post everything, okay? I post everything. So I feel like I'm someone you can trust on social media to be able to start to develop your own system and just understand the markets. After that, I can only teach you so much, and nobody says this in trading. After that, it's you versus you, but I can give you the tools to get started, to be able to learn, and to get that experience. And once you get that experience, it's up to you to put in the time and effort at the end of the day. And again, I just want to be a live example to help you guys be able to grow as you guys watch me grow and just learn from the mistakes that I'm making. All right, Daily Bias. Peace out.